It is so obvious that the British media has been so deprived of actual new Meghan Markle content just by looking at how they're covering her new show. It's sort of like when you're a kid from a non-soda household and you get to go to a friend's house where they have soda, and you are not just having one cup, you are having several cups, okay? The British media is mainlining sugar. Not that I know from experience. Let's take a look at one such piece from The Telegraph. 7 baffling moments in Meghan's Netflix trailer. Before we get into it, let's discuss the word baffling for a second. From the Oxford Dictionary, baffling, impossible to understand, perplexing. That ends up being pretty meta because one of the baffling moments is a moment that didn't happen. The author mistakes Daniel Martin, who is Meghan's makeup artist and longtime friend, with Greg Wallace. Greg Wallace is an English broadcaster. He is known for the MasterChef universe and being a co-presenter on that, who has since been replaced because there's been a litany of allegations against him. This isn't baffling. This is, we needed 7 key points because it sounds better than 6 for whatever reason. So we're just gonna throw this one in there. The author writes that had it been Wallace, refusing to cut that scene after the latest round of allegations would have been bold, and perhaps the most interesting creative decision for the entire project. And this is just a reminder that every single celebrity that goes on that show, British media is going to absolutely fillet and find some way that they had a perceived slight against the British royal family, and somehow Meghan is responsible for all of their thoughts and feelings and actions. Remember, they did it with Priyanka Chopra and her show Citadel a few years ago. I mean, just listen to this title. Kate is the target of crude sexual insult in new Amazon spy drama starring Meghan Markle's friend Priyanka Chopra. Just the most absolute blatant grab for SEO friendly words. I mean, Priyanka isn't writing the show. This is not a one-man band. Here's another one. The house is not her house. That is perhaps the least baffling thing about this show. Using your actual working kitchen and getting it set up perfectly every day for shooting and continuity is a recipe for disaster. See what I did there? Especially with 2 young children. Not to mention the fact that if I were Meghan and Harry, I would limit the amount of time cameras are spent in my house because people are actively insane. I wouldn't be giving a peek into my home either. Quote, if we were in any doubt that this is a project precision engineered to enrage all the right people, here's the tell. First of all, it is hella weird that you think this show was only made for hate watching. Secondly, it only enrages people like royal reporters, because when it comes to the Duchess of Sussex, all logic just goes out the window. This is not baffling. Another thing that's not baffling, her quote, earth-shattering floristry hack. In the trailer, we see Meghan going through a floral shop. She says that she sees which color she gravitates to, and then she goes from there. And the author is like, earth-shattering. And it's like, it isn't earth-shattering, but it's also a trailer. Like, yeah, if that's the extent of the floral tips, yeah, I'm gonna be a little annoyed too. But I don't think it's a trailer. Another baffling moment, who is Joy? Yeah, I'm not all that surprised that some in the British media don't understand the concept of joy. Quote, of all the many questions thrown up by this trailer, one stands out. When Meghan says, we're not in the pursuit of perfection, we're in the pursuit of joy. So the author takes us in a totally normal direction. Meghan says in the trailer, quote, she loves surprising people with moments that let them know I was really thinking of them. A worthy credo for any assassin. These people are out of their ever-loving minds. What, pray tell, could be worse than joy on a show? I actually think there could be an interesting conversation about the tenor of this trailer and what it appears it's going to be. A discussion of tone and does this tone meet the moment that we're in? I do think there's an interesting conversation that you could have about if Meghan never met Prince Harry and they never married, and the TIG, her lifestyle website, continued to explode and she eventually got a show, would it have been essentially this show? You know, is this show kind of another era? But at the same token, I don't think you could have done this show in 2017 or 2018 with everything that was going on in the world, especially in the United States. And that with the pandemic, with an upcoming presidency for a lot of us, that is a gut punch. The idea of finding community and having your friends around the kitchen table and making a really baller crudité, yeah, I mean, doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world. I am going to be digging into more articles about how the media is covering Meghan Markle's new show. That will be over on my Substack. Hi, it's where I write. In future videos, I am going to look more into the TIG, how it was covered when Meghan became a part of the royal family, because obviously she needed to close the TIG. And in my opinion, the unfair moniker that is being applied to Meghan because of the show, which is also an incredibly interesting societal and cultural discussion. More to come.